I'm going to make an off-the-cuff video on the progression of vaping. The original video was going to be a 6-month review on the Sigeli Z-Max telescoping mod. Then I started running through all my junk and was, why do that? Why not just tell everybody what it's all about? First, let me say I'm going to get my fingers over there. I'm going to do the whole video off of an iPhone, and this is just my nifty. It's not even nifty. Hell, put your phone on your Nuvi and set it on the countertop and go. Anyhow, when you first start out vaping, more than likely you're going to get one of the little cigarettes, and this one's bigger than the little bitty cigarettes, the real thin tube ones that's got a little bitty button, and the buttons start, or the bottom of it starts glowing blue when you push the button. My biggest thing when I first started, I didn't want to stand out in the crowd and let people know I was doing that, so I always put my fingers over the blue button there, and well, then they don't make these without glowing buttons on these. Just no matter where I went, I just kept getting into, hey, look at me, I'm vaping. I didn't want people to know I was doing that. So I got away from the blue bottoms. Another reason is the batteries in them didn't last very long at all. So you can go with those little blue batteries. They last like 2 hours if you're vaping like you're smoking cigarettes. They don't last very long at all. You have a 400 mAh, 600 mAh, 1100 mAh, and these are very good options for anyone that's just getting started. These are just standard Ego batteries. This one here's a twist. You can up your amperage or voltage to get better flavors out of whatever you have, or lesser flavors. And then we move on to putting your juice. What are you going to vape your juice out of? I started out with these 510 Atomizers. They really started slacking on the quality of these. These used to last me a couple weeks. I'd be able to wash them out and reuse them again. It got to the point where every one I ordered was just junk. Junk. And I just aggravating when you can't find something you like. I don't have my Clearomizer down here with the wicks in them, but that's what I started out with, is these. An uncle of mine, I saw him just tooting away on his Clearomizer, and he gave me one, and I'm so glad he did, because I don't like spending money on trying things out. So he gave me one, and it was so much simpler than these little 510 drippers, or you can just stick a cartomizer on top of there. But these here, you just fill it up, forget about it, keep vaping on it. The progression on this is I've moved to, these are wickless. They absorb so much better than the ones with wicks in them, and I don't know if it's the material that's in the coil up here or what, but you don't get any nasty flavors out of it. These are very hard to find, about $5 a piece. So where you go after that? Well, while you're experimenting with your batteries and what kind of atomizers or clearomizers you like, you start moving into your fluids. The fluids you get at kiosks, they're expensive as all get out. So what you do, you go online, you start doing all your research on what's good and what's not. Well, my first one I started out with was an RY4. It was okay. Freedom Smokes USA, I've ordered almost all of my fluids from, almost entirely. Then they came out with an RY5, and the description on it was, if you like RY4, you will love RY5. Same flavor, but extra. So I got some of it. I loved it, loved it, loved it. This juice is extremely thick and will gum up your atomizers pretty quick. Where does all the money come in vaping? Right here. This is where all your money comes in. You find a lot of juices you love. You find a lot of juices that are okay. You find a lot of juices that completely suck. And that's all on personal taste. You can read all the reviews you want. Some of the best reviews come on Mountain Dew. I've tried Mountain Dew. I cannot stand it. It's too sweet. It just tastes like you're vaping sugar. After the RY5, I moved on to this hopscotch from Freedom Smoke. Tapping the wrong screen. This is pretty good to me. I like this. Next, it was a step up from a cigarette or a tobacco flavor. I liked this a whole lot. I bought a couple bottles of hopscotch here. Well, then I was dripping in my atomizers and mixing the juices of, it wasn't really mixing, I'd say, but the flavors were mixing of hopscotch and RY5. So I just started buying half a RY5 and half a hopscotch and mixing them together. I did that for about a year. And I moved on to cinnamon bun. This stuff is, I smoked cinnamon bun for about a year. I thoroughly enjoy that. Thought I'd try a little menthol. This stuff from Freedom Smoke it's just like a menthol cigarette. And I'll let you see the name of that in case you want to try that. That is very, very close to a menthol cigarette. It gives you the top of the mouth flavor of a menthol cigarette. I do got a cold, I apologize. Went to vacation in, I don't know, somewhere down in Florida and ran by Vaping by the Beach. This was a fun store. You could come inside. They have tons of cartomizers filled with all of their flavors. They give you a little safety tip here to put on. You can try all of their flavors. This is now my favorite. It's hot peach. I've tried a lot of fruity flavors and never liked them, but I guess my progression from a tobacco flavor moving on over, I do like a fruity flavor now. So in your batteries, you know, you start out with a 400 mAh, 600, and 1100. This one here is a twist. I think I've already went over this. Then I went into actually the cool stuff, the higher dollar stuff. This is a Z-Max Mini. There's no battery in here, but you can check the ohms on your device, on your atomizer, cartomizer, whatever you put on top. This only takes an 18350 battery. This is the only thing it does. And these 350 batteries, they don't last very long at all. They last just as long as a 400 mAh battery. I wouldn't even put it there. You got to replace these batteries quite often. So I did some searching online and trying to figure out something else. So I went on to the Sigelli Z-Max telescoping mod. This mod here will take an 18650 battery, and being it's telescoping, you got all this room here that you can screw it down even further. You can put an 18350 battery in there, and this becomes the same length as this. So that was really handy. Does it stop there though? No, 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 no. These clear misers are starting to drive me crazy. I'm going to start going on to rebuildable atomizers now. And I do not want a tank. I want something I can drip in. I've really enjoyed dripping because you can get just the right amount of juice in there to make it satisfying. If you're looking at how tore up this is, it is a paint job. You can't expect too much out of it, but if you can see the little bitty dots, that's how all this other chrome starts. You get a little bitty spot of chrome there and you just start picking. That's all I do with it. And I'm a big pocket carrier, so I need something durable. These two here were the only chrome batteries in my lineup. All these others were colored. The top here was black. I think this one was red. This one was black. This one's partially white. Been picking, scraping at it. Where does it end? It doesn't. It doesn't end. It keeps going. They keep improving. They keep upgrading. They keep coming out with different flavors. New flavor shops. New battery makers. If you find something you like, you ought to stick with it for a while. Like these here. I stuck with these for 2.5 years, just these batteries. And these 510 atomizers. It did me just fine. But then you start finding bigger and better. And that's the bad thing about it, is they're all bigger, but they're also better. I like to carry things around in my pocket, but now I've moved on to this. It's just getting crazy. That's really all I got to say about that. Anyhow, have fun with your adventure. Out.